It's great to be back on board for the next adventure. Whether you are a seasoned cruiser or a first-time crew member, there is always something new to discover and explore on a cruise ship. This is Freedom of the Seas, docked in the port of Miami. I have recently joined it. This is not only my first time on board Freedom, but also my first contract as a head broadcast technician. Let's see what it takes to make this floating city run smoothly. Life on board may not be all that different from life on land. You wake up to the sound of an alarm clock, freshen up, get dressed and head to work. However, there is one major distinction. In a typical city setting, you can easily find yourself stuck in a traffic jam within minutes and spend at least half an hour, if not more, commuting to your workplace. When you work on a ship, the average commute time from home to work is just 2 minutes.
Hey guys, long time no see. Welcome to the broadcast center on board Freedom of the Seas. I joined this ship about a month ago and I already received good detailed handover from the previous head broadcast. Generally speaking, the broadcast department is responsible for all onboard TV channels, so if you're lounging in your stateroom and flipping through the channels, you have us to thank for the awesome content. As for the broadcast center and the team that works here, I will describe it throughout this entire video. However, just a heads up, it can get pretty cold in this area due to powerful AC system that keeps all our equipment in top shape. You might see us wearing the jackets in the office. Let's take a quick room tour of our broadcast center. Here on board Freedom we have curved space divided into back and front sections by the equipment rack.
This long rack wall, comprised of 20 sections, is designed to accommodate a variety of equipment used in TV live broadcasting and video production. This includes satellite receivers, as well as a multitude of server players that enable us to play a vast amount of content across approximately 15 different channels concurrently. In total, there are 30 channels in our lineup.
This is the office section of the broadcast center. This is my desk where I work, and this is the digital content specialist workstation. Brian works here and is responsible for maintaining all of the digital content that appears on the digital signage screens. This is the actual broadcast area. As you can see, we have live switcher here and plenty of quality control monitors that help us keep an eye on everything that is airing in our 30 TV channels. Lucas and Michael are the broadcast technicians who work here most of the time. Nowadays they are called entertainment media specialists. I don't think it's necessary to delve into our equipment in depth. There are a variety of converters, specific devices and cabling, but it would take ages to cover everything. We will see how the system works in the real-world scenario later. Right now, let's take a quick tour of Freedom of the Seas ship and see what it looks like.
If you've seen my previous videos, you will know that Freedom and Adventure, my last ship, are not all that dissimilar. Freedom of the Seas first set sail in 2006. The ship has a range of recreational amenities on its exterior decks, including multiple pools and hot tubs, a rock climbing wall, a mini golf course, and the surfing simulator, which called Florida. Inside, ship has a number of dining options, including a main dining room, specialty restaurants, and casual eateries. For entertainment, the ship has a theater, casino, ice rink, and nightclubs, among other options. There are also plenty of activities on board, including a full-size basketball court, a fitness center and a spa. Overall, the Freedom of the Seas is a large and well-appointed cruise ship with a wide range of amenities for guests to enjoy.
We operate 2 cruises per week, consisting of 4 days and 3-day cruises in rotation: Miami-Nassau, Coco Cay, Miami, Coco Cay, Nassau. This means that every Monday and Friday, 3,500 guests disembark and embark ship again. Our broadcast schedule operates on a repeating cycle as well. The guys handle all the filming and editing stuff and record the show that runs in the theater.
Today is Lucas' turn to take charge of the daily show with the cruise director, which is called Entertainment Today. He's busy filming for the show and will later edit the footage in the office. Meanwhile, Michael is currently recording the port and shopping show taking place in the theater. Both of these videos are required to be live by the end of the day.
Meanwhile, I take care of the movie scheduling, email responses and paperwork. And of course, my favorite part of the job is always standing by for those emergency calls that never fail to brighten my day. I mean, what could be more thrilling than dropping everything and rushing to fix some totally not preventable problem at the moment's notice. While on the other hand, it can also be pretty dull sometimes, but that's just the way it goes, you know?
This is the way.
Right now, it's time to set sail from Miami. If we have a little free time, it's wonderful to admire the stunning Florida cityscape and capture some beautiful shots. Tonight we have a big 70s party happening on the promenade. One of our technicians is recording a multicam video using the remote cameras on the venue and the video switcher in the broadcast center, while the other technician is live with the floor camera in the energetic crowd on the promenade. The following morning we arrived in Nassau, one of our 2 ports of call. While most people are pleasantly surprised by their visit here, as the ship's crew we aren't as excited since we sail to Nassau twice a week. However, if we have some free time, it's still enjoyable to get off and indulge in a leisurely lunch and a brief stroll around the area.
We have been also showing NFL games every Sunday for a few weeks now. Our satellite receiver system allows us to receive up to 6 games simultaneously. The Playmakers Bar is the go-to spot for sports fans on board, but guests also have the option to catch the game on the pool deck or in the comfort of their staterooms on the TV.
This is the Belly Flop competition, where we provide live cam and recording support for almost every cruise. People have fun next to the pool with the cruise director team. One of our team members, today it's Lucas, takes care of the floor camera. This can be quite challenging at times, especially when the crowd, especially kids, get excited around the camera tripod. Speaking of the setup, the camera signal is transmitted wirelessly to the cam box on the opposite side of the pool deck and then travels to BCC via coaxial cable. Here, the second technician receives the video feed and operates the switcher to provide slow-motion replay on the big screen and recording, which we will then broadcast on TV.
We will also be showing the World Cup games in Qatar following this schedule. We receive signal through one of 2 satellite dishes available to our broadcast department. Unlike the NFL games, which come through the antenna on the port side of the ship, the World Cup games come through the second antenna on the starboard side. Currently, I have tuned this receiver to catch one of the World Cup games. This game has been distributed in the same manner as the NFL games, with the guests able to watch it on the pool deck and the Playmakers Bar, where they are currently enjoying the game. Here are a couple of racks with our equipment stored inside Playmaker's bar locker. Among the equipment there is a background music player. There also we have sound processor and sound amplifiers. Additionally, you will find set of TV tuners and monitors that display all the content available in the Playmaker's bar. Sometimes we run into challenges when we are troubleshooting, and that can definitely be stressful. But since everything working fine right now, let's move on to the next thing.
The parade is another live event that takes place on Promenade with one of our techs recording a multicam in the office. Another tech operates a floor camera to capture all the action up close. We will air this video on the TV till the end of the cruise. 3 and 4 day cruises are indeed considered relatively short, so it's not surprised that we are returning to Miami again for another turnaround.
The upcoming months are going to be quite a challenge, as we have the JamRock festival coming up soon on the Freedom of the Seas. This is the special charter that has been running on various Royal Caribbean ships for many years before the pandemic. After that, Heavy Rock Music Festival, 70,000 tons of metal. I will also try to tell you a bit about this event. As I mentioned earlier, we have live coverage of the NFL and the World Cup games, and of course we have our daily routine, which can be time-consuming as well. But that just makes this video even more interesting, right?
The landscape overboard changes predictably. If yesterday was Miami and today Coco Cay, then tomorrow Nassau, and vice versa.
As I mentioned earlier, JamRock cruise charter is about to start in 2 days, and I just received the hard drive, and now I have to upload all these files to our system. And the bad thing that our system is not that fast in terms of uploading the files, but the good thing that I still have 2 days to figure it out.
Uploading terabytes of video footage and hundreds of files to 6 servers, it's not a physically demanding task, it just can be time-consuming. I have 5 more months here, so that's fine. Guess where we are? Another turnaround, and this marks the beginning of JamRock cruise on board Freedom of the Seas. The ship is being loaded with tons of hardware, provisions and people. It's gonna be a 5-night cruise with stops in Montego Bay and Ocho Rios, Jamaica. Construction of the main stage on the pool side has already begun, although the pools will remain covered until the end of this cruise. However, the hot tubs are getting warm and ready for the reggae fans to enjoy.
Time has arrived. Today is the first day of JamRock cruise, and I literally just finished uploading all the files, but now all the 6 channels for the JamRock cruise are live. For example, channel 1, this is the channel with all the activities scheduled for the cruise. Channel 2, we have JamRock logo here, and also we can see all the activities listed. Channel 4, yeah, Tough Gun. On channel 5 we have Sound Chat. Channel 6, Boom Shots. JamRock team is on board. They still have too many things for us to be done, so it's time to work actually.
We still have some content to upload, and for the next few days it will remain our daily routine. The sound and light equipment setup is underway all around the ship. On the promenade, where besides the Christmas tree already installed, there will be at least 2 permanent DJ places, one of them being JamRock Radio. Let's take a look at this later. Another main stage is located in the theater, where plenty of hardware is already waiting to be set up. If we stop by Studio B, we will see the same atmosphere, a calm before the storm. All the screens inside the Playmaker's bar have been set up since early morning, and we are good to go.
Another piece of equipment, guys, I wanted to tell you about it. These 3 players here for the background music all around the ship.
We also have local players with specific music in some of the venues, such as specialty restaurants, gym, spa or sports deck, for example. All background music on board belongs to the broadcast department.
The same is here, guys. In inside the locker on the sports deck we also have, besides all this equipment, we also have 2 racks with sound equipment, mixer board here, switcher, microphone receivers, some players, also sound processors, sound amplifiers that actually send the music around the sports deck to the rock wall, to the basketball court, to the floor area as well. Most of this equipment belongs to the sound tech team. As for the broadcast department, we only have this background music player here. We just have to make sure that the player works and music plays all around the sports deck. And since this is the first day of JamRock cruise, I just received this. Let's take a look what's the inside. iPod 7, charging plug, charging cable, audio cables. Now I just need to replace our players with this one. Okay, cool, this is done, so let's check how does it work and how does it sound at the guest area.
We had a brief meeting in the office before sailing, and then JamRock set off from Miami. Meanwhile, folks at the pool were warming up, although the stage was not yet ready. Nonetheless, the excitement for what's to come on board is already palpable.
Guys, how long you are sailing, huh?
More than 14 years.
14 years?
Yes, and I bought that boat there, you see?
That's mine.
As soon as the stage setup was complete, a full-fledged party began on the pool deck. The following morning at sea, JamRock Radio went live from the promenade and was broadcasted throughout the ship's background music system.
English guy, I like the countryside, you know what I'm saying? So you're on the JamRock cruise, it's the second day.
The content traffic in the office is non-stop, as tons of fresh videos from all around the ship have been uploaded and streamed straight to the air on TV. Big party started around noon on the promenade. We continue working hard in the office. The rest of our tech support team was well prepared and set up on time, so we only need to make small adjustments on the events process during the day. I keep waiting for the guys to run out of content, but seems like they are unstoppable. Let's take a look at what's happening in the theater. There is so much fun going on here. You have to check it out.
Ladies, can you say ah? You ready? Let's go! If you're 35 and over, put your right hand in the air for me, please.
The next morning we arrived at Montego Bay, Jamaica. It was scorching hot outside, but some of my team managed to get off the ship. For me, it was better to stay on board, as there were too many things going on during the charter. Someone has to be here to look after the coconuts after all. Close to the evening, people start coming back on board. And there is another loud, crazy party that's blowing up the pool. The next port of call is Ocho Rios, Jamaica. Again, equally amazing view and plenty on the plate, so I'm taking pictures from the open deck staying on board.
Turn up the bass and make them all out.
Damian Marley's performance on the main stage tonight was truly amazing, definitely one of the highlights of the cruise. As the charter comes to the end, I hope that everyone who joined us on this journey had an amazing time. Okay, so Miami is where we left it when we left, and it's my time to turn our wrap things up and get everything back to normal. It's surreal for me to see the Christmas tree standing in the middle of a sunny park. That's crazy. We also have a Christmas tree installed on the promenade, and it also has alien look a bit, but just because it's a huge tree in the middle of the promenade. But the tree itself looks stunning and creates a proper atmosphere around. So our broadcast team seized the opportunity to film some Christmas content with the executive committee and onboard team. I wish everyone a Merry Christmas. My ultimate wish, now and always, is for the end of the war and to turn the world back to normal.
My dear friends, as we come to the end of this video, I cannot help but speak about the war that has been raging in Ukraine for over a year now. This war is affecting people all over the world, some of whom have had to flee their homes and run from rocket explosions, while others are forced to pay more for the gasoline on the pump. Some defend their land with the weapons in their hands, and some are no longer with us. If you have direct contact with our warriors, remember that they often need all sorts of equipment. It would be fantastic if you could provide them with that help directly. I urge each and every one of you to support Ukraine, even if it's just mentally. The mere thought that Ukrainians' victory in this war is very important will already bring our victory closer. Stand with Ukraine. Thank you and see you in the next video on this channel.